Start recording. Okay, we started recording. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I'm Brian Johnson with Morton Now. Thank you for your long-time business. We've been doing business with you guys for, 6, 7 years now. Today, I'm going to introduce you to 2.0. So far, 2.0 has had just an unbelievable amount of success. Everybody's very excited about the new features and the new things we can do in 2.0 compared to 1.0. Probably the biggest differences are probably three things. First of all, I'm going to try and mute this one here. It's not letting me do it. Okay. It's probably the biggest things. Mute. There we go. The biggest differences are probably three things. First of all, with 2.0, the very biggest difference is you can change your templates, you can change the workflow. Everything can be changed in 2.0 by either us or a local admin, but it's real-time changes. In 1.0, remember if you wanted a warrant, a new template, it would take maybe 6 months because we had so many ahead of you. If you wanted to just do something as simple as change a name on a template, it might take a month, okay? 2.0, this all can be done real time by either us or by your local admin. That's another one of the changes. You will now have a local admin who we will allow to do many of these things, okay? We got an admin up in Arkansas, and when I tell you the town he is in is small, I mean it's small. We got somebody just came in. Can they mute themselves, please? I can't see them. I think I got it. No, maybe not. Anyway, the town is so small I can hit a driver and a wedge from one end to the other. I mean, we're talking about an agency of like 4 people. Well, we were actually able to, he was able to go in and put his own templates in, completely put in his own templates. It's that easy. Number two, the workflow, the local admin, and we can change the workflow at will. And we'll show you a little bit of that. But last but not least, probably the biggest change is the templates or the phone apps. The phone apps are unbelievable. I've never been a fan of a phone app, I'll be honest with you. I've always thought they were kind of a gee whiz thing. But now in 2.0, I would guess between 70 75% of the judges are signing their warrants through the phone apps. Like an ordinary phone app, when you go through an app rather than a web page, the screen gets sized real good. You're able to read it all, and it's extremely fast. Kind of the reason I did phone apps is for the detectives and the officer side of this is not because I can type real fast with my thumbs. I can't hardly text. But I noticed my wife typing one day or texting one day, and she's almost as fast on her phone as I am on a keyboard. So that's when I decided to go with the app way as far as the officer side too. Because you can completely write a warrant through the app on your phone in 2.0. From start to finish, you can completely do everything you need to do right with your phone. Anyway, we're going to get into the first part. The first part of 2.0 is the very hardest part, and that is getting you logged in the first time. It seems to create the most problems. When we activate your account, you're going to receive a text message and an email that looks like this. Now you can see here is what's called the security code. That's kind of the thing you got to look for when we first start. Look for the security code, and that's going to help you to get logged in the first time. Another difference between 1.0 and 2.0 is you're going to notice the amount of information on these texts are a lot different. Now, most of the text information are going to carry the user's name. They're going to carry the user's email address. They're going to carry the user's cell phone number. So for the judges especially, they're able to, when they get a text, they're able to see right away who it is. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how to log in the first time. Go to www.2.0. Go to 2.0 login. And I'm going to log in. To start with, I'm going to log in as an officer. Okay, so Mamu, M-A-M-U-D-A. Okay, here's the first time you log in, this is the page you're going to get. It's very simple. Create your password. This is something you create. Confirm your password, and then type in that security code that we sent you. 322155088. I'm not a computer. Okay, now what we've done is we are now going to try and log into the account because we have now set that password. So that is your password. The password you just typed in is now your new password. So we're going to log into the account for the first time, and we're going to put in the new password. And then we're going to put in the security code that we sent you again. And at that point in time, we now are logged in. That's how simple and easy it is to do. Now, if you would like to at this point in time, and I very strongly suggest at this point in time, you go ahead and change your security code. So something you can remember. So go up here to this little hamburger icon, and the hamburger icon will show you, click on that, and you will see a key, this little key. Click on the key, and then we're able to change the security code. Now, do change the security code to some of you remember, because one of the other changes from 1.0 to 2.0 is that password reset in 2.0 does work. And how you reset your password is by using your security code. So I'm going to type in the security code that was sent to me again. And then I'm going to type in my new security code, and I'm going to type in, confirm my new security code, hit submit. Hit close. We have now changed the security code. Now you're logged in. That's how that is by far the toughest thing of 2.0. So now that we're logged in, let's go ahead and create real quickly. We'll create a warrant and show you kind of a few of the differences in creating a warrant. A lot of it's the same. Let's go over the dashboard. First of all, serial number. Don't worry about that. That just shows you now in 2.0 we've run a little over 12,000 warrants. The warrant number, this we can put in for you, or you can put in the arrest warrant, the type of warrant, the detective's name, judge's name, reviewer's name, and status of warrant. Status of warrant is the big thing here. Everything runs off of the type of user and the status of the warrant. Okay, so the status of the warrant is a draft status, and it's a detective, and so law enforcement, so you can see then what my options are. My options are to clone, delete, preview, print, review, or update. Now, if I was a reviewer and it was a submit for review, these options would be different. And just remember that your local admin can change these options. So let's say they determine that they also want to add the judge option in there, where sometimes they want to go directly to the judge with the warrant. Then all it takes is a drag and drop, and all of a sudden you have that option. So this can be changed real time by us or your local admin. We're going to go ahead and create a quick warrant, and we're going to create an arrest warrant. Then you're going to notice even on the internet that I'm going from my office here, which is actually at my condo in Panama City Beach. And you can see, and my internet connection is very slow. In fact, they're putting in new internet today, so I hope that they don't screw something up. But you can see how much quicker and faster 2.0 is already. So name and rank, warrant, let's put, so we'll just go, it's fill in the blank like it was before. Let's go with warrant number, item number, counts. Now this one you can pull down at 1 through 10, or you can put in any number you want to put in. RS codes, you got to type the RS in, then it comes up. Felony, hit add. You must hit add, just like it was before. Okay. PC area. Again, you can see this is something that's red marked, so I have to put something in there. Again, we can change these things any way we want to at any time. You're going to notice that my boxes are wide open. I can almost put anything in my boxes that I want. But you can, to make the boxes, you can close them up. For example, we get down to date of crime. You can make it so the date's got to be put in a simple way, a special way. So any of this can be changed real time. Let's go ahead and put location. If I could type. Okay, and then let's go, close enough. Let's go ahead and add a picture. Just like before, you can add pictures. And so let's go ahead and just add this. Let's make it smaller, just like before. Save, and there's your picture. Okay. See, I should probably hit enter and get that down below. And again, in 2.0 compared to 1.0, 1.0 you could only put a couple pictures in. 2.0 you really can put as many as you want. The only thing is, remember, as you put more pictures in there, it's going to get slower. Okay. Date of crime, again, in this case, I can put anything I want to in here because my boxes are wide open. Time of crime, in 1.0, that had to be military time. I've opened my boxes up so I can put anything I want to in there. I put 10 p.m. Parish, I live in Bay County, Florida. And address 10719 Front Beach Row. Birth date, again, my boxes are 1961, wide open, so I can put as many numbers as I want in Social Security anyway, with dashes or not. Gender, male, blue, height 5'9", weight 210, NA, and victim information. Okay, we produced a warrant just like before. And just remember, you can, through the phone app, you can do this complete thing on your smartphone. Okay, so now we're going to hit save. And now you can see the warrant we just did is in a draft status on your dashboard. So if you'd like to, again, just like 1.0, you can add a document. Click on this paper clip and download a document into the system. And then the document stays with the warrant. This is the audit trail. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and let's preview this warrant we just did. Okay, you can see the warrant we did. Now, number one, number two, you can see how quick again it was and how clean it looks. New software with new languages make it easier to do some of the stuff. You can see it's already written, it's already signed, and you can see everything is ready to be sent to the reviewer, or in this case, or the judge. Now, the other thing you'll notice, anytime you preview anything, you've always got the options up here to download or print. So if you ever want to print something you're previewing or whatever, you can do it right there. So let's go ahead and let's hit the action button again, and let's go ahead and send this to reviewer. Okay, let's see if I can get the right one. Yeah, I think it's this one here. Okay, now throughout the system, you're going to see this comments box. Just about any time you push a warrant anywhere or push the warrant inside our system and send notifications anywhere, you're going to see this comments box. We actually put that in for a couple of main reasons that we'll get to toward the end of the presentation today. But I've got people using this all over the place. So I've got people writing comments to the reviewers, reviewers back to the detectives, all of that at any point in time. So let's go ahead and send it to the group leader. And of course, we got to, everything is sworn by. Okay, now you can see the warrant has now changed color. It is now submitted for review. And you can see over here, we now have changed our workflow. The recall button works all the way to the judge until the judge has signed it. So at any point in time, and this is a problem we had in 1.0, at any point in time, if you want to recall a warrant you've sent to the judge or you've sent to the reviewer, you can do so there, very simply. So at this point in time, though, let's go ahead and let's log in as a group leader or a reviewer. And if I was told why do you guys use reviewer, that's kind of the reason I'm doing this. Let's see, OUGL at WN.com. And if I get all the way through typing these email addresses right, I'm going to be very proud of myself. Okay, we've now logged in as the reviewer. The reviewer has gotten a notification that he has a warrant that needs to be acted upon, and you can see the warrant. Now, here's one of the changes we also made in 2.0. The reviewer at this point in time has the option to preview it, which he would do, obviously. Then he has the option to approve it, reject it, or send email. You don't see any option there for judge. The reason that is because we want him to actually approve the warrant, and then we can give him the option to send it to the judge or send it back to the detective, who will then send it to the judge. But in this instance, with him approving it, it goes into the audit trail that we now know there's actually a place where it says this reviewer at this time approved this warrant. And in fact, the DAs, when they approve a warrant, we actually can have them sign the warrant itself on an approval area. So let's go ahead. We're going to approve the warrant. We've already previewed it. You can see it again, the comments area. If you're rejecting the warrant, you may want to put in there why you rejected the warrant. Okay, now you can see it's changed color again, and now it is reviewer approved. So at this point in time, you may want to send it to the judge. Now, I don't know if you heard my phone go off, but my phone is tied to the detective on this one. It's tied to the original user. Every time anything happens to this warrant, I know about it. So you can see where it has changed to reviewer approved. My screen on the detective side changed to reviewer approved. So I know every step where this warrant, who's got it, what they're doing with it, just by logging in and looking at the system. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit judge. Now, here's a couple of new things with the judge's side of it. You can see now we haven't picked a judge yet. We're just picking it now. In 1.0, we picked it right away. The problem you had there is that you might pick a judge and start a warrant on Wednesday and not do the warrant itself until the following Wednesday. At that point in time, what happens is sometimes the on-call judge is changed. So then you're changing judges and doing all this. That's the reason we decided at this point in time in 2.0, we were not going to pick a judge until we were ready to actually submit it to the judge. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pick a judge. I think Baldwin Judge is the fake one I'm using. Again, the comments area. Now we're going to get down to, these are very important for the judge's side. We've got marked urgent. If you mark a warrant urgent, the first line on the text and email says urgent, okay? So the judge knows if he rolls over at 2 o'clock in the morning, if he got a warrant and he sees the word urgent on it, he knows it's urgent. He probably needs to take care of it right away or as soon as he can. Now, if it is not marked urgent, then he probably rolls over and says, I'll do it tomorrow. So use the urgent button, but only use the urgent button when it's urgent. Now, the other thing is kind of on the same lines, but on the other angle here, another angle here. This is a send warrant now, but notify the judge at a later time. So you can actually send the warrant at 2 o'clock in the morning to judge that isn't urgent, but you notify him, have the system notify him the next day. That way you can send warrants to judges at 3 o'clock in the morning that aren't important without him getting upset about it. You know, you're getting off at midnight, you're off for 2 days, you don't need this warrant till the next week. Go ahead and submit it to him, be done with it, but pick notification next Monday or 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. So the warrant will go into his account. So if he wants to handle it Saturday afternoon when you send it to him, that's fine. But he will not be notified or not be bothered until the time and date that you pick to send the notification. Judges absolutely have loved this. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to mark it urgent. We're going to send it to the judge. Boom. Now, again, it's changed colors again, and now it's submitted to judge. And you can see now the workflow has changed again. Now you can change judge, clone, recall. Two big ones here is clone and recall, or change judge and recall. So you can do that at any point in time, and you can also see the little red deal over here. That means it is an urgent warrant. So we're going to sign in quickly as a judge. Okay, you can see now the warrant is sitting here on his dashboard, just like it was before. You can see his options are approve the warrant, preview the warrant, print the warrant, or reject the warrant. Well, I'm not going to preview the warrant because we've already done that. So at this point in time, if the judge has previewed the warrant and everything is fine, he goes to approve warrant. And now let's go to set bond. And you can see this opens up. And again, you got the comments area. So let's set a bond. Now, one thing I want to let you know here, if there's any judges online, you can, and due to the phone apps, what we've done is we've done an enhanced bond sheet where it's got the special bond conditions, believe it or not, over the state of Louisiana, there's about 10, 15 that everybody seems to use all the time, okay? Different things on amount of time before or the bond is good, or the amount of distance they have to stay from somebody, and different things like that. What we've done, especially for the phone apps, it works great on the phone apps, we've actually made a sheet that you can go down and click 2 or 3 of them, and it just puts it into the bond. So you don't sit and type the whole thing out. But we've got a list, I think it's 10 or 15 that we use that are pretty much across the entire state, the same things that judges seem to put into most of the special bond conditions. So let's go ahead and approve the bond, or approve the warrant. Boom, it's done. Now, one of the other bigger changes we've got is here. And that is the archives area. If in 1.0, the bond was not tied to the warrant until the detective printed it. And if the detective happened to click no on that box that opens up that says, do you want to attach the bond? They lost the bond. Well, what we would do, and we would get 2 or 3 calls a month saying, hey, I'm Judge so-and-so. I just set a bond for $50,000 for so-and-so, and I want to make sure I didn't actually $50,000, I didn't put $5,000. Well, at that point in time, there's nothing we can do until the detective printed it. We didn't even know. We couldn't even find it ourselves. So what we did now is the minute a bond is set, the minute it is approved by the judge, it goes in their archives along with everything. So they can instantly look and see what they've done. They can instantly see what the bond amount is. It's all in their archives the second they do it. The other thing you can see here, we have judge away. We do have on-call judge here. We've also got judge away here. On-call can be set up by your local admin, so they can put who's on call. Judge away, we did, started out as just in the admin side, but we actually moved it here. So if you're a judge and you got a wedding this afternoon you want to go to, and you absolutely do not want under no circumstances are you going to sign a warrant, just go ahead and click the judge away and set up the afternoon. Your afternoon is off. The reason we put it here, to be honest with you, I don't know if you know Judge Craig from Bossier City. Judge Craig signs thousands of warrants a year. He's a machine, but he absolutely, positively will not sign a warrant during a fishing tournament. So he wanted the ability to do that. So that's a good idea because the judges now can go in and handle their own stuff. So let's go ahead and log back in quickly as a detective, and we'll see the finished product. I got them right every time. I can't believe it. Okay, now we have a judge-approved green warrant. At this point in time, of course, you can go in and you can clone it, you can preview it, and you can archive it. So let's go ahead and preview it. Also, just for your guys' knowledge, we do have options there for you to send it to the clerk of courts. We have options for you to send it to the file warrants department. We can handle all the way to the end process. Up in Washington Parish, for example, the warrant goes from once it's completed, the officer then sends it to the clerk of courts. The clerk of courts then sends it, well, they send notification, they log in and print it. They send it to the warrants department, and then the officer then puts it in his archives. And the officer knows everything that's happening, who's printing it, everything is kept track of, so it works really well. Okay, you can see the warrant is done. You can see here's the affiant. There's the judge. Everything's time and date stamped. Within the next couple of weeks, that's going to say Central Time. We're going to also have Pacific Time and Eastern Time because we're branching out in so many states. But you can see everything's done and the bond order's attached. Everything's ready to go. Right there it is. So at this point in time, you can print it. Now, even if you don't do the files, don't use any of the file department's options we have, you can, this one will never go into your archives until you put it there. Okay. In 1.0, once you clicked on print, it went into either your pending execute or your archives. Okay. The problem we had there is we constantly were getting calls from people saying, hey, I printed it, I can't find it. Okay. So in this case, this warrant will stay on your dashboard until you move it to the archives. Okay. That way you know you have a little more control of where it's going. So let's say we've already printed it and we've already served it and we want to go ahead and put it in archives. We just click on the archive button. Okay, now this comments area, this is the main reason we wrote the comments area for. Okay. In this case, it's pretty simple because it's just going in, it's a warrant we served, we're putting it in archives, we've already done everything, but you might want to put some notes on this warrant, okay, even though it's something that easy, okay? But, so the other thing is, I guess I've got a slow connection here, I got to turn off webcam, I think I got webcam on. Anyway, the big reason for this area is also, though, if you have a warrant that's been approved, but you don't want to serve it, that's probably the biggest reason for this. Over the years, we would have people, okay, just put it in your archives. Well, they go in there 2 years later, they don't know why they put it in the archives, or they don't know if they put it there because they didn't want to arrest the guy, or if they actually wanted to build a warrant with more charges. So in this case, you would put, if there was a bond that was, or a warrant that was never going to be served or never going to be executed, you'd put on there that, hey, I didn't execute this because of this, and for more reference of the extending charges, go to warrant number 3386. This is a way for you to put notes in your warrants or along with your warrants to keep track of things that you've done. So let's go ahead. I'm going to click this into archives. You can see it's gone now. And if you want to find it, you go up here to archived warrants, and there it is. Now, again, at any point in time, you click here to preview it. You can go up here and you can print it, or you can do anything you want with it. So one last thing over here, the audit trail. The audit trail, this is the area where them notes are, all them notes are going to go. But you can see everything here is done. It's just like 1.0 where everything there is, everything that happens to the warrant during the time it's in there is audit trail marked and time and date stamp, along with the name of the person. So any questions? I hope I still got you. My network says I've got a slow connection, which I knew I would, but. Are we still there even?
Yeah, Brian, we're still here.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, what the plan is, if there's no questions, the plan is that Tuesday, or no, today's Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday will be turning 2.0 on for you. You'll be receiving your notifications. We will then leave 1.0 on for 10 days. So get anything out there you need over the next 10 days. Now, again, if at any point in time you guys need anything out of there after we turned it off, just let us know. As soon as we get everybody out of using 1.0, then we'll actually make it a read-only file and open it up for you again.
So we'll still be able to access everything in 1.0 once you open it back up.
Pardon?
So once everyone's out of 1.0, we'll have to go back into that one to retrieve any data out of there. It won't be transferred into 2.0.
Correct. Correct. We will, and what it'll be is it'll be a read-only file, and it'll be a login right on the homepage, Warrant Now homepage. The reason we're not bringing it over is two things. Number one, it's a completely different language. Number two, and I know we can log in through other ways, but number two is that 1.0 is getting to be old, and we're starting to see a little corruption inside of some of the PDF files. And I just don't want to bring that into 2.0. That's why I didn't join them or transfer the files. Well, we will make sure your files are kept there for 7 years, and we will make sure that if you need access to it, you'll have it. No problem.
Okay, great.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Is there any way the supervisor can be notified as well when the warrant is approved from the judge? Via the text messages?
Yeah, at this point, there isn't, but I mean, that's not a giant step. I guess I would agree that we could do that, but there would have to be an on and off switch, because I'm going to tell you what we're going to have. We're going to have half the supervisors that want to be notified. We're going to have half the supervisors that don't want to be notified. So I'll look at that. That's not a big jump. That's pretty simple.
Okay.
And again, in 2.0, we can do some of these things so easily compared to 1.0. I mean, again, this software was built to be nimble. It was built to be able to make changes real time. So I'll look at that. Anything else?
Doesn't sound like it. We appreciate it, Brian.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your long business for a long time. And if you need anything, you know where we're at. And we'll look forward to. But do download the apps. I mean, go to Google Play, go to Apple Store. Just put Warrant Now in one word, and as soon as you get the information, you're able to log in with the app. I guarantee you'll love the apps. I hate apps, and I like them. So anyway, have a good day, guys.
Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have one question.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it. It was sent to me. If we have an open search in 1.0 for a phone that will not be finished by the time it closes, how will we be able to execute?
Oh, just if you want to, just let us know. And more than likely, what we would do is turn your account back on and leave it on for a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean what people think, well, I usually don't even get the warrants for you. If you need, and we've done this, we've already moved about 3,000 people over. If you call me up and say, Brian, I need this warrant, I'm going to say, hey, Joe, I'm going to turn your account back on. You can go get it. I'm not going to go get it unless I have to. And if I have to, that's fine. But, we just turn it on and leave the account on for about a week or 2-3 days. So you go get whatever you need to. So do not worry about any of that information.
Okay, so I assume the same would apply if they have active arrest warrants in 1.0 that are executed afterwards. We would just turn the account back on so that could be dealt with accordingly.
Correct. It really hasn't been. It hasn't been near as much of an issue as I thought it was. When we moved over Washita's got what? There's 500-600 users up there, and when we did that, I thought I'm going to be getting call after call after call after call after call. Or Shreveport, when we moved them over, I thought I was getting calls. Really, most of it's already printed, so there isn't a lot of it. But if you need it, just let us know. It's not a big deal.
Okay, that sounds great. And I believe that's it.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. I see you down there on the screen. I finally get to see it, put a face to the voice now. So anyway, again, you guys know we're here. Call us if you need us, okay?
Great, Brian. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Be safe, everybody.